Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
The Honorable Mr. Riza Muhammad Nurman as our examiner. Before we start the presentation, let me introduce. My name is Ahmad Rozi.
My name is
Yet
Nur Irsyad.
today we are going to presentate about securing and monitoring server using Honeypot. Honeypot is a security mechanism that are designated to detect, counteract attempts from unauthorized access. Appear in many forms as a fake legitimate service that are used to decoy, lure, monitor, isolate, and study about the cyber attacks behavior, starting from the method to explaining vulnerabilities to system aspects that been searched mostly from the cyber attacks.
And in this project, we use Kauri as a medium of the honeypot as a service for the SSH and Telnet session. In this simulation, I'm going to be the server administrator.
I'm going to be attacker. So let's get straight to the demonstration.
Okay, now, the first thing is I need to check if my service is up. We can just type sudo service. Here we have two services, which is the web server and the SSH server. And we can see the status. So it's running, which is what we want. And now to activate the SSH, we can do the same. We can check the status. And now, as you can see, it is running, and it's run on port 8765. After we get the Apache and the SSH ready, now we can set up the Kauri. First, we can go to as Kauri user. Now let's go to the Kauri. So now I'm going to execute what it's called as virtual environment. You can just that with source in the Kauri environment, and to activate, type activate, and now you can see we are in the virtual environment mode. Now to activate the Kauri, we can just type we can go to the bin first, and as you can see there is Kauri. We can execute that by just typing Kauri and restart. So we can go to the Kauri status, and now Kauri is running. Now we can check all the services that are running on our server by just typing net start 10. Okay, now you can see that the Kauri is running, which in port 22, and the web server is running in port 80, and the real SSH server is running on 8765. Now I can show the my IP, and that's it for the setup of the server. And now we can just run sudo IP trace. Now we can go to Fahrul.
So okay, this is my time as an attacker. I just want to let you know that we as the defender and the attacker have to be in network first. Uh, my IP is one network with the defender, which is the defender is point 20, and then the first step of attacking the defender or the administrator, we have to net discover. This is a tool that you have to install first. and it's starting to search, and it's searching for IP address in the same network with mine, and we we skip the process because it took a long time. And there is we got an IP address, and we start the network scanning, and then now we need to do port scanning. uh, I will scan port from 1 to 65535 in SS and input the IP. Now we got the port scanning is done, and as we can see here, there are port 22280, port 222, and port 8765. uh, and now, because the attacker want to attack the SSH server, uh, we will try to connect to the SSH in port 22, and because the attacker still doesn't know the password, the attacker need to hack the password first, and this time the attacker is using brute brute force attack mode to get the password of the SSH server, and the attacker use Medusa as the tool of hacking the password. Min H is mean host, IP host that we want to hack, and min U is the position that we want to get in. Min P is the location of the file text of the bunch of passwords. Uh, then typo here, and it scan the password. It looking the correct password, and now we got the password is this baby girl, as we can see. And now we have got the password. Then we can get into Medusa, to the SSH. Password is baby girl, and now the attacker is already in the server. Now the attackers can do whatever he want. If, for example, the attackers can see the directory in the SSH server, but this is actually a Cori server, but the attacker know this as a SSH server. The attacker can get into the directory whatever he want, whatever they want to do. For example, he want to get the password, and now it's up to the server what they want to do.
Okay, now I'm going to audit the attempt of the attacker. Now I have pre-run the IP trap, which is the tool that can monitor TCP and UDP connection. There are several things that we can notice that attacker want to get into our server. First, the packets captured. When you see that there are 70,000 packets captured in your network, it can be conclude that someone is scanning your network, which is called the network scanning, as Fahrul mentioned. And then if we go up, you can see that the TCP connections is only on to sender and the receiver, which is only to subject. So we can see that the attacker try to match each port that available on the server. You can see the flag is S, which means that the attacker wants to synchronize with the port. And there are thousands, maybe hundreds of ports that been scanned from the attacker. And you can see there is this familiar port, which is the Kauri SSH port, and the flag is closed, which means that the attacker have finally attempt and get into the Kauri server. Now we can just replay the attack to learn about the TTP of the attacker. You can go to the Kauri, and first of all, we need to see the latest event that been captured from the play log. So we can do that by entering the far. So now we get all of the latest attempt of the attacker. We can do print word directory, so we know where the file is, and there is a file that can execute the playlog, so we can execute that. So now we can copy the directory. So now we can specify the file of the last attempt. So now we can see the whole shell interaction of the attacker that given to the server. So because this is only the simulation, in the real implementation, it could be helpful for someone to actually really understand what he's doing, what the tools that they want to use. You can see the attacker goes to the password directory. So with that, we can now examine our infrastructure and improve the security and the policy that are reliable of this current attack. And that's pretty much for the demo. So for the last word, you can use the Honeypot as a service to protect your real infrastructure, so the attacker can be isolated, and we as the server administrator can monitor and study, so we can actually implement the what's the vulnerabilities of our system, so we can repair it for ourselves. So I guess that's it from us. My name is Muhammad Nur Irsyad.
My name is Ahmad Rozi. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi
And
wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.